No. Come on out.
You have reached the offices of the Hamilton County Prosecuting Attorney. Our staff is currently busy assisting other citizens. Your call will be answered by the first available staff member. Thank you for your patience.
We are sorry for this momentary delay.
Come on out. Get out. Come on. Out. Out. Come. Out.
Someone.
Come on out. Come on. It's okay. Good
Someone
boy.
will be with
Out.
you as soon as possible.
Come on out. Out. Come on. I'm helping you. Come. Out. Come on out. Out.
Thank you for calling Hamilton County.
Get down. Down.
Office of Connie Pillage, Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. May I help you?
Yes, hello. My name is Rich Gages. May I ask who I'm speaking with?
This is Anthony Risson. I'm a victim's advocate. I'm kind of helping work in the front desk while the lady's running her lunch right now.
Awesome. I was calling in because the short story is I was hoping to speak with the prosecutor or representative thereof.
Yes, sir. Do you know which prosecutor you want to speak with?
Ultimately, I'd like to speak with, I think it's Connie, the elected prosecutor.
Correct. Yes, sir. 1 second, okay? Let me just put you on hold for 1 second, okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay, my pleasure.
Thank you for calling Hamilton County. Your call is very important to us. We are sorry for this momentary delay.
Hello? Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just 1 second. I'm getting ready to transfer you to her right now. Just 1 second, okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Okay, my pleasure.
Thank you for calling Hamilton County.
Hello, you have reached the voicemail of Sydney Hayden, Executive Assistant in the Administrative Division with the Office of Connie Pillage, Hamilton County Prosecutor. Please leave your name, phone number, and a brief message. I will return your call as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hello. I think you said your name was Sydney. I'm sorry. I'm not great with short-term memory. But if it is, hi, Sydney. My name is Rich Gages. And my phone number is 513-383-2119. And I was calling because I understand that Connie has been communicating and articulating that recording the action I took was a crime, and the action I took was freedom of press, constitutionally defined, citizen defended, case law established for the most part. And I was simply doing a news story on a public sidewalk, a traditional public forum sidewalk that's on the side, not on the school, but outside on the side of the school, at the sidewalk, not on school property. And it was on a matter of public interest that was brought up by the citizens to the trustees of Delhi Township, and that was mentioned by one or more trustees as something they're contacted about every year, which has to do with traffic. That's what I was doing my news story on. That's why I was out of school, because there have been complaints about school traffic. And y'all are calling that, what is it, public disturbance or something like that? And it seems like you didn't read the part of the law that says that it's a crime if there's no purpose for being there. And I haven't read it for a while, but I remember the essence of it. Public disturbance, if you don't have a purpose for doing what you're doing, when people are getting upset at it or whatever. But I actually did have a purpose, a constitutionally defined purpose called freedom of press. Now, I asked my local police chief, Chief Jeff, I call him, Chief Ron, just to be clear here we're talking about. He said that he called you all. And he called the previous prosecutor, said it's a crime, called you to say it's a crime. He gave me exact code down to the letter, the very final. I think it's in one line. And it don't fit. So I challenged him on it. And months ago, he said he's going to reach out to you. Actually, I met with him after months ago. I met with him roughly a month later. And he said y'all didn't get back to him. And so now we're going on months and multiple meetings. And, you know, I thought Jeff was a man of integrity and he would have reached out to you by now. And I'm questioning all y'all's integrity because I feel 99.9999% that I not only have a human right, but a constitutionally defined right of freedom of press to do exactly what I was doing. Hello?
Press 1. To send your message urgent, press 2. To re-record your message, press 3. To please...
Hello?
Hi, I'm trying to reach Rich.
It's Rich.
Hey, it's Lieutenant Meyer. How you doing?
Good. We may be being recorded on a third-party recording system, just so you know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It'd be the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. I was on a call with them. I merged the calls, and I'm not sure if I am still in a merged call or not, so that's who would have this recording.
Okay.
As well as I'm also recording, just FYI. Appreciate you calling back. I didn't really request it, but...
Well, when I came back in the office, somebody said that you would call, so I figured I'd give you a shout.
That's probably my friend Bob. I appreciate him. Trying to gather my thoughts. I think I was calling about a couple things maybe. It resulted in... I wanted to make sure Jeff was okay was part of it, and Bob assured me that he's okay. And the reason that question came up is because he said he's going to get back to me. He's going to check with the prosecutor on something. And I did get a message from him to reach out to him, and I reached back out to him, and I haven't seen anything since. So I guess it's not because he's, you know, sick or anything like that. So I'm just wondering if he forgot or if maybe I missed an email or what's going on there.
Yeah, I can't speak for him. I know that you guys had a meeting, and right before he left town, he asked me to send an email to you, which I did, responded to something. So honestly, I think he's just been busy with a lot of things, and it was on his list to do, but maybe he hasn't made that call to you yet. I believe he probably talked to the prosecutor's office, because I know he's had several meetings with them about other things, but not related to you at all. But if not, he should be back Monday, and we can touch base with him.
And that could very well be my shortcoming as well. I appreciate you seeing that it could be him. Maybe it's me as well, because I did not read your email yet. Frankly, I don't know how to explain this, because frankly, maybe it's an exaggeration. I'm a little phobic of Delhi Township emails right now, and I'm just trying to get over those fears to actually go in and start reading those emails, because I have a feeling that I'm going to have some reactions that I'm just trying to avoid right now. And so I don't want to get into emails that start calling me a liar or insinuating I'm lying or saying that you're not going to provide disability services that I have a right to receive, but hey, you're not held to accountability. So, you know, once I start opening those things and my emotions start flowing, because I'm already emotional about that stuff, I just don't want to face the discipline I'm going to have to come up with, and or the courage to try to react to those things as appropriate as possible. Now, I think it's sometimes appropriate when people are doing really bad things to you, like telling you you're not disabled when you are by law, rejecting you services related to that disability, that it's okay to let some of your emotion, even the negative stuff out. You know, the fuck yous, the you're an asshole, hey, you're scum. And I think it's okay to do it in public sometimes too. And that it's sometimes even right to do that. It's even righteous to do it. You know, I see some people that, you know, no matter what you do to them, they're like, oh, yeah, that's okay. Oh, yeah, I understand. Oh, yeah. But, you know, I saw a Seinfeld episode where, you know, it was all about Serenity Now, if you know what I mean, where basically they bottled up and they don't expose how those things that other people are doing are affecting them. And when there's other people that are doing bad things that they shouldn't be doing that affect me in a bad way, there's a part of me in context that wants to do bad, perceived bad things as well. And so I'll get around to your email. If it's in there, maybe, you know, that would be in part my shortcoming. The other thing I wanted to check with you all on is I have a public records request for personnel files, and I was given an estimate on them, and we're about past your estimate, which wasn't lawful to begin with either, but hey, y'all live outside the law, so who really cares? And I was wanting to get an update on all those records requests that y'all just don't seem to, you know, want to do much more than what you're doing with them, and complain about them to me and try to intimidate me out of my right to get those records while trying to pretend that you're not trying to do those things. So is there an update I can get on those?
I can give you an update for sure. I don't know about any intimidation or anything like that. I can tell you, I was on a meeting with our attorney yesterday going through some of them. You can imagine these things take quite a bit of time to get through.
Not for an efficient government. No, I can't. I can imagine that because it's not because it shouldn't be reality. I could teach you how you can make that process efficient at an accuracy level that is at or above your current accuracy level. Now, let me remind you that I've done a public records request where y'all illegally released my social security number to a member of the public. So there is software out now that y'all refuse to do the right thing on, in my opinion. But the fact of the matter is there's software out there right now that's been tested to meet or exceed human results. So for you to say, hey, you know, to give me the sob story again that, oh, you're working on them and hey, it takes a lot of time and hey, it's a lot of resource. You can imagine what it would take. I can imagine what it take for an efficient government to do it. A government that's utilizing technology that in essence does 90% of the work for them. But no, that would be a little too hard for y'all to do that analysis, investigation, come up with the money. Why don't we just go ahead and let the person requesting the records wait for months and months, and then let's make sure every time he asks for an update or we see him or something, let's remind him how hard the work is and how much resources it takes up and how expensive it is. When the matter of fact is that a lot of those requests, some of those requests are in reaction to the negative services you all provided me in the past. So when you say, hey, we don't want to provide you disability services, and we're saying that you're lying based on the timing, you're lying even though they got the timing wrong, even though they said it happened, you know, shortly after I brought it up with Skylar.
There's 10 seconds of recording time left.
I guess the prosecutor's office is still on the line recording. We wish you a good day, prosecutor's office. These are the corruptions that are going on in Delhi Township, abusing my rights.
To send your message, press 1. To send
Excuse me for a minute here,
press
Jared.
2. To re-record your message, press thanks. Your message was sent. Please enter your mailbox number.
Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Are you still on the line?
Please enter your mailbox number.
Can you give me a call right back so we can get rid of the prosecutor's office?
Please enter your mailbox number.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, this is Rich.
All right, this is me again.
Hey.
All right, do you want to pick up where you left off, or you want me to give you the update?
I'll take the update.
Okay, so let's see. We have currently, now I can only speak for the police department, obviously. We have 29 completed, ready for release, and we still got probably be about 15 to do, which we are working on. I know you mentioned AI, and we can't use that, and some of these are 300-400 pages. So
why can't you use it? Why can't you use AI?
We cannot use AI because everything has to be reviewed before it gets released. I know you referenced something that there was an error made, and I apologize for that. But
Just curious, is that by policy, by law, or by resolution?
Policy.
Okay, so you all could do it. You all have the power to change policy. So when you say you can't do it, I understand that you can't do it. Jeff could make it happen so he could do it. And that's what I'm suggesting. Obviously, you implement new technology to make government more efficient. You're going to change your policy and your procedures to match the new technology. So when you make an isolated statement that you can't do it, it kind of foreshadows the reality that you actually can do it. You all have made a conscious decision not to do it and to keep doing things the same old way you've done them since the policy was written.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
You have to understand, Rich, that only the past few years are in the digital format that something like AI could read through. Most of these personnel files are scanned cards and paper documents, some handwritten, that have to be scanned in for personnel files that encompass the last 30 years of police work. And once those are scanned in, a lot of those don't have text that can be searched and redacted.
This is not the first time you're doing this, right?
Please?
This isn't the first time a member of the citizen has requested all PD personnel records?
Since I've been here, it is.
Okay, I believe I've already requested all PD personnel records. I believe so anyway. And at least the administration is not doing this either, because I don't believe what you all are doing is you're going through the full process twice. And what you all should be doing, in my opinion, is if you were doing that in an efficient way, you would have digital records that would reflect when the last change was made, so that you could reuse the redacted
images.
You could reuse the redacted images again if you knew when it was last changed. And a majority of them either won't change within a year, or they have one or two or maybe a handful of pieces of paperwork that need to be redacted instead of the whole file over again. What you're doing is you're doing the work twice, that if you did a little bit of work along the way, you wouldn't have to put in all these hours at one time. You would be doing minutes of work, made an update in the system. If you're doing it digitally, we'll do it for you. Update made on this date. So when someone requests it again, you're not having all those pages to redact. But that's efficient government that the trustees and the lawyer remind us all the time that, hey, we're efficient government. Meanwhile, you read a bill like when you can declare an emergency declaration and the law says something with words, but what's the lawyer guy say in the public square? All you need for it to be an emergency declaration is to say it's an emergency declaration. Wow. That's got nothing the fuck to do with what the law actually says, but he gets away with that shit and he gets paid hundreds of dollars an hour to spew that kind of bullshit. I'll say allegedly, because I don't know when y'all are going to try and fuck me in the ass. But that's the reality as I see it. I read the law, I presented it in the public square, and he comes out and has the gall to say all that needs to be done for it to be an emergency declaration is for you to say it is. Wow, why even have emergency declaration law then? It's no wonder with lawyers like that, and, compare it. Do the reading yourself. Read the fucking law and then look at what he said on video and tell me if those have anything to do with each other. Now, maybe it's not lawyer dude. Maybe it's that the judges have decided to change the law. We have words for this because it happens so often. The judicial abuse going on in this country, but I sidestepped. There was maybe one more thing. Let me see if I can remember it off. I appreciate you hearing my grievances and taking the time and remaining professional. I appreciate that part of the phone call.
No problem.
Do you have any ETA on the remaining records?
I wouldn't want to give you a wrong one. What was your initial ETA when you made the request? Didn't they say 6 months or something?
Oh, maybe I remembered it wrong. I'll go back and look at it, Jared.
I thought we were still within the confines. I know Chief has been trying to push forward on getting these done. I know you disagree, but there's only a limited number of people that can do these, and we do have other responsibilities. I can tell you I have personally spent many hours doing them, and I'm going to continue to do them.
How many hours do you think you spent?
On these so far? Well, I can tell you just one is sometimes 4 or 5 hours of work. And then obviously have to meet with the attorney to, go over some redactions and things. I probably spent about 20 hours just on the ones that I personally have done, and Chief's done more than I have.
And how many have you done?
Please?
How many have you done?
Let's see. I'm counting them up. Hold on. I think about 12 of them. And as you can imagine, some are smaller than others. We got new officers, we got people that have been here well over 30 years, and they don't all take the same amount of time.
Okay.
Now, I don't know, you mentioned about having these, the plan is to have these and keep these completed in case somebody else makes the request, but I can tell you since I've been here, this is the first I'm processing any of these. So if you made the request before, I know sometimes you've withdrawn requests before they were completed, but this is the first time I'm doing these. This is the first time that Steve's doing them as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I imagine most of the public doesn't even have the awareness that they have a right to do this. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
And sometimes I wonder why that is. And I come to the conclusion it's because it wasn't part of the messaging from government that, they give you the right, but they never bring it up. They never educate you about it. I see cops are heroes all over the place, and I hear the trustees thanking y'all and stuff like that. I don't hear them thanking the citizen that often, but they're always thanking the police and stuff like that. But they're not reminding us about our right to hold government to accountability and what I would argue is a duty. And not only that, but in Delhi, they're oppressing those rights. So it is what it is. All right, man. I appreciate you. Good job. And yeah, it's crazy that the 20 hours you spent, Jeff said he spent 6 hours on one file, and then at the same time y'all want to spend charge $327 for a video. It's just it only government could be that in essence contradictory in a sense, and y'all, the law could be changed, that, don't you, so that hey, citizens can get the videos for free, or hey, citizens can get them free when they're in the video, or things like that. There's ways where y'all could have protected our rights, but just like police and trustees and administrators in government, lawmakers are pretty much the same. They're humans, so they have mistakes, and they're generally corrupt. Because you can't tell me with an honest face that we in Ohio couldn't have put a stop to the massive, massive child fraud that's going on. Some say primarily by the Somali community. But the point I'm making, whether it was the evil Somalis or not, in the context of them stealing billions, either way, it was government that was entrusted with those funds, government that was given the duty to protect and to be a good steward of those funds that really we haven't even paid for yet. They're going to do it through debt. And what they do, they allowed it to be frauded right in front of us. And at least in the state of MN, the government knew about it. There were whistleblowers that came out, and this is what I say all the time. It's in your industry as well. I see it all the time. They came out and said, hey, this is fraud going on. They had evidence and stuff. And then they got punished for it. They lost their job. Other things happened. They claimed their families were threatened. And now we have public evidence that the governor was involved. And he hasn't been arrested yet. There's been some Somalis that are going through the system. One Somali I know of that's been found guilty. But no, I don't give a fuck about that as much. Criminals are going to be criminals. And I didn't make no deal with the criminals. Maybe you can call it the social contract. They're not going to steal from me. But there is a deal that's been made with government that's forced upon me. It wasn't a voluntary deal I made. It's one I say yes to, because if I don't, y'all are going to start escalating the violence and taking away my property and stuff like that. So I say, yes, I will pay these taxes to go for wars and shit I don't want. And you in government, allowed that money to be stolen. You allowed it to happen. If you didn't participate in it, and at least this is a national thing going on, and we know in some areas the evidence is there that the reason that the government was doing it was because the Somalis told them they would get their vote. And nobody's been held to accountability. And you ain't fucking as pissed off as I am. You ain't spent a day on the street, not policing, not your job, your duty, not your policing duty, your civilian duty, to get out there and let the people know that this is fucking bullshit and we will not stand by it no more. And start having these conversations, not as a lieutenant, but as my fellow human being, where we have a country of kids getting raped. And now it's in the public square. We know in the public square, the evidence is there that we have PDF pedophiles fucking running our government. And there ain't nobody doing anything real about it, but maybe one or two here. Massey maybe in Congress. He's maybe one of maybe 5 that are doing something serious about it, trying to. You have a good day, Lieutenant. Stay.
Office of Connie Pillage, Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. This is Anthony speaking.
Hi, Anthony. I may have spoken with you before. Are you actually a victim advocate?
Correct. Yes, I am. And I'm actually just kind of helping running the front desk while the secretary kind of takes her lunch. So yes, I'm just kind of helping out as of right now.
Could I ask you maybe victim advocate related question?
Yes, sir. You may.
Because I don't want to play the victim card. That's not what I'm doing here. But I think I may be a victim. And
okay. And not to interrupt. What kind of case is it? Like an assault case?
This is probably where this might be where you want to end the conversation. This is a civil rights violation case, a human rights violation case, maybe.
Okay, yeah. For that, I just pretty much deal with this the criminal aspect and everything. So any civil, I pretty much don't have any questions regarding that. Again, I just deal with this the criminal aspect.
Well, civil rights violations under Title 18 are criminal violations. The thing is that they almost never charge them as criminal, except now the Trump administration is charging those Title 18 violations against some people in politics with crimes under Title 18. So, I believe it's a crime. I believe y'all don't prosecute those crimes because most of y'all are crooked. That's my belief. Let me tell you what happened.
Have you reported this yet?
I've reported to the local PD who are part of the criminals, in my opinion, and they colluded, in my opinion, with the prosecutor's office, which is why I'm calling in. In the prosecutor's office, according to the chief of police, prosecutor's office said what I did was a crime. Can I tell you what I did?
I mean, you can.
I appreciate that.
If I can, help you in any kind of way, but
no, this helps. Just articulating it to another fellow human being helps a lot, and then getting their feedback helps even more. But in essence, I do government accountability, and I do news reporting. And every year in Delhi, a trustee. Are you there?
I'm listening.
Okay. Every year in Delhi Township, trustees get complaints from citizens about traffic around schools. And the trustees articulate that in the public trustee meeting to the public, making it a matter of public interest. As a news reporter, I went to a local school and I video recorded from a traditional public forum called a sidewalk.
Yes, sir.
And so there was purpose. My purpose was news reporting on a matter of public interest. And the police officer on site said that's not a crime. Roughly 90% of police officers I talked to about it says it's not a crime. A lieutenant from Green Township, a different place, told me that's not a crime. And but the prosecutor said that is a crime, and they gave me the exact part, in essence, public disturbance. But the part they gave me said, in essence, and I'm paraphrasing from memory, so it's going to be a little off, but in essence, creating concern or whatever with a public without a reason.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is news reporting, I used to say constitutionally protected, but it's not, because you all abuse the Constitution all the time. So the Constitution really isn't protecting those rights. It's really just constitutionally defined. Often case law established. In this case, it's generally nationally. This is case law established nationally. In our particular circuit, I'd have to get back to you on, but it should be protected. And it's called freedom of press. It's a First Amendment defined right. And y'all are telling me I don't have a right to freedom of press. And I'd like to ask the prosecutor, what do you think about that? You think I should be able to record? And again, this was a location a sidewalk that was public property next to a school. Okay, so I was recording school traffic.
Yes, sir.
To you, does that sound like freedom of press to you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see where you committed crap, but again, I'm not the prosecutor and everything, but I am going to, connect you with a prosecutor, who are able to, help you out and everything.
Well, here's the thing, and frankly, if somebody asked me the truth from my heart,
yes, sir.
I'd say this guy's professional and he's 100% honest. And I'm going to stick by that until you show me otherwise. The thing is that you're working for an organization in a position where I've called in the past and left a message, and I left one again today, and I didn't hear back from the prosecutor. And not only that, but the day that I exercised freedom of press, the police chief was able to get a hold of a prosecutor and get the advice that I was committing a crime when I wasn't within an hour or less. It's now been, and it's been over a month when the chief reached out to get clarity, notifying you all that that's freedom of press, and to get clarity from you all, because I'm not far from suing some people about this bullshit. He's out there defaming me, telling people I committed a crime that's constitutionally defined activity and citizen protected. See, that's what I'm doing now. I'm not doing a constitutionally protected activity. I'm defending a constitutionally defined activity. I'm the rights protector. You all, and I say you all, not you individually, just the organization you work for, and the leader of that organization being the prosecutor, telling this chief police that I'm committing a crime that anyone that's taken any kind of constitutional law 101, and you start on the First Amendment, knows that that's protected activity. Now, I understand there's no accountability for y'all, and y'all will abuse our rights and stuff. Now, this is the same organization, this PD, that's punished me based on the content of my speech. Another rights violation. I could go on all day about it, but I know your time is limited and it's valuable. I want to respect that. Hopefully I haven't abused it yet. Are you saying that you can get me a prosecutor on this call that I'm on right now, though?
Yeah, I'm going to get you to someone who can help you, okay?
Is that the same person?
This is Shaquita.
You sound like a woman now, but I was speaking with a man a minute ago, I thought.
Yes, he's training.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm sorry, could you say your name again?
Shaquita.
Shaquita, I like that name. That's a very cool name.
Okay. One moment.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hello?
Hello, you have reached Greg Bentry, Chief Detective with the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. Please leave your name, phone number, and a brief message. I will return your call as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hello. I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but I'll say Inspector Gregory. My name is Rich Gages. My phone number is 513-383-2119. I just had the main number employee tell me they were going to get me a prosecutor on this phone call. And I guess they forwarded me to you. It sounds like you're neither a prosecutor, nor did you actually make it to this phone call. So just a pattern of shortcomings by another government agency that I have near 0% trust in. Maybe you can help me, though. I'm trying to get a hold of a prosecutor. As soon as I hang up, I'm going to hit redial and see if maybe I get someone with more integrity or a higher success rate of doing and accomplishing what they say they were going to do. So in essence, I was video recording next to a school doing a story, a news story, i.e. First Amendment defined activity, citizen protected, and on a matter that was brought up by citizens and also brought up by the trustees in a public meeting. And it was a matter about traffic being bad near schools in Delhi Township. I'm summarizing. All from memory. This is all from memory. And I guess parents got concerned or something why they ran through stop signs and disobeyed traffic law, which became a secondary story once I arrived and was recording that part of the story. And of course, the officer on site that day said there was no crime there. But I guess somehow the school convinced the chief to try and make a crime or something, who called the prosecutor office and then later on reaffirmed with this prosecutor, I've been told, that that indeed was a crime. And they gave me the exact part. I think they called it public disturbance. They gave me the part where it in essence said, and I'm paraphrasing, so this won't be exact, but the spirit of it will be there. In essence, disturbing people without a reason or without a cause. And I don't know if the prosecutor's office, by making that determination, is saying that freedom of press is not reasonable activity or lawful activity, and that y'all are going to threaten me through the local PD to take away more of my property, my freedoms, and my rights based on people's feelings. People felt a certain way. Now, I understand one person, they're claiming maybe more than one, but the school told me one person, or at least one person they had defined, decide not to take their kid to school that day. Well, it turns out I video recorded that particular person in their big truck recklessly driving off the road as they did a turn onto the road, driving off the road. Now, whether their kid was in the vehicle or not is unknown. And then wanting a witness against me, I guess, for the legal activity that I did. And so I'd like to get the prosecutor on the record on this one, since all I have right now is the word of a police chief that I feel has low integrity, told me he would get back to me again because he's going to let the prosecutor's office know that I was doing freedom of press that day, and based on that articulated information, whether you were all going to double down like the chief was, that I was committing a crime that day. Now, I've already served them with one notice of lawsuit, hold all your evidence, and I'm in consideration of doing that again, not with just PD Delhi Township, but with the prosecutor's office as well, because in my opinion, this is a collusion and violation of my rights between the township and the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. So let's hear the truth. So I'm looking for. My one primary question is, what was the crime I did that day? With you being aware that I'm a knowing, the PD knows me, have known for years. I'm a knowing independent journalist that exercises freedom of press, primarily locally. And I got to tell you, Whatever fear anybody felt that day, there was no threats, nothing like that, committed no crimes. Anything anybody felt that day negative against me or that they conjured up in their mind that I might do or something, whatever made them uncomfortable. I can tell you there's been times in my life where I felt, I'm going to say, just as justifiably, much, much more justifiably in fear of government. And so, why aren't my feelings that I feel that government is putting me in fear or making me uncomfortable, whatever they felt, I feel fear of government. I feel fear of the communism, the oppression, the authoritarianism coming from government these days. I fear the lack of accountability for the Epstein stuff, for example, is going to continue to make child abuse in this country and child trafficking worse. I fear the judicial activism going on these days. I fear a Congress with an approval rating of roughly, last time I looked, I think is 13%. While those same people say Congress sucks, they say, but my congressperson is awesome. I fear the lemming, and the word I'm missing right now, of people just sitting around taking the stuff because it's pretty well buffered with debt. You all buffer stuff between the propaganda that you spew and the debt that you go in. People still live at a certain level of comfort, enough of people, that they ignore their duty to hold government to accountability. Now, I'm not even going to get into all the other shit like the daycare scam that's going on. I'm not going to say by the Somalis, but we're going to say it's going on. We entrusted our government to be custodians of our money, and they fucking wasted it. But all that aside, I apologize. I'd just like to get a hold of a prosecutor and get a clear, straightforward answer if they're going to double down and triple down on public photography from a traditional public forum sidewalk where those rights are supposed to be the strongest, that's a crime. Because I'd like to take that one to court. I told the chief, I said, you either need to put in writing that that's no longer the case, or we need to talk about citing me so I can take it to court and expose the corruption that is our government, that is our PD, that is our township, that is our prosecutor's office, all directly related to this exact question, to this exact case. And a word of caution, sir. No threat whatsoever here whatsoever. A word of caution. They may, at some point, have come to you or will come to you, not just related to me, but to someone else, to do an investigation simply to silence the opposition. What? Are you thinking, what? They'd never do that. Really? Did you think government would be running a pedophile ring, that our intelligence agencies, that the CIA, that the Mossad, that they'd be running a ring where large numbers of people that are rich, powerful, influential have abused children? Allegedly. And have done so at the hands of your taxes, my taxes. But let's be clear, it's really not our taxes. It's really the leverage our taxes bring to borrow on future generation income or bankruptcy. Did you know that 75% of renters in our country can't afford rent? Sounds like a great country. I mean, it's a country with freedom of association, right? While forcing us by threats and or violence if necessary to associate with government. Now, I won't tell you my little spiel about a free society versus a slave society and which one is the USA, but I got to tell you, that one's worth the time. If you want to call me back, not about all this stuff I'm spewing about, my question with the prosecutor's office, but if you want to hear my feedback, it's about a 2-minute spiel on Allegidly. taxation is extortion via coercion that results in slave labor, then you give me a call. And I say that's something I've heard, and so I'm spreading something I've heard, not necessarily something that I'm...
10 seconds of recording time left.
Rich Gauges, 513-383-2119.
You have reached the offices of the Hamilton County Prosecuting Attorney. Our staff is currently busy assisting other citizens. Your call will be answered by the first available staff member. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you for calling Hamilton County. Your call is very important.
Thank you for holding.
Thank you for calling Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. Please hold.
We are sorry for this momentary delay. Someone will assist you in just a moment. Thank you for calling Hamilton County. Your call is very important to us. We are sorry for this momentary delay. Someone will assist you in just a moment. Thank you for calling Hamilton County.
Civil rights violations, prosecutor, Rich Gauges.
Do you remember which prosecutor or which attorney detective you spoke to?
I spoke to what I would understand would be like a front desk phone response person.
That's here. And
Okay.
then we would have transferred you to someone would have transferred you somewhere else. One second.
Oh.
Someone will assist you in just a moment.
That's the thing, they transferred me to a voicemail. I haven't been able to speak with anyone. Corrupt prosecutor. Hello?
And what was your name again?
Rich Gauges.
sorry for this momentary delay.
I'll get you transferred 1 second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chris Ward.
Yes, hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Again?
My name's Rich Gages. Can I ask who I'm speaking with?
Chris Wharton. What's going on, Rich?
Hey, Chris. Could I ask what your title is?
I'm a detective at the prosecutor's office.
Okay. I was hoping to speak with a prosecutor. At first, they did transfer me to the prosecutor's office where I got the administrative assistant's voicemail. I don't know if that's their title, but then somebody else told me all calls to the prosecutors go to the inspectors. So maybe I need to speak with you.
Okay, what's your issue?
So I was exercising a freedom of press from a traditional public sidewalk that was next to but not on school ground property. So again, I was not on property. I was on a traditional public sidewalk. And I was recording the traffic coming and going from that school, exercising a freedom of press on a news story that was of public interest. So prior to that happening, I'm one of the few people that actually attends our local trustee meetings. A trustee articulates pretty much every year that they get complaints from citizens about traffic near schools. So that's what I was doing there. And an officer at the time came and said, "You committed no crime." Now, I've already been doing government accountability with the school district. So they already had a certain view of me that I don't believe was an honest view, but it was a negative view. So there's very little doubt in my mind, although this is more speculative, that I was probably getting bad mouth when parents came in and said, "Why is he out there recording?" That the principal was probably not saying, "Oh, he's a member of the press." That's just my guess.
What is it?
So the prosecutor's office so my local police chief has told me that the prosecutor's office told me that.
Who's your local police chief?
Chief Jeff Braun,
And he's with?
Delhi Township PD.
Okay.
He said he spoke with the prosecutor, and the prosecutor said that's a crime, so I insisted on getting the exact letter of the crime, and I can't quote it right now, but from memory, it's in essence creating a disturbance without a reason. So my reason was now been articulated several times. I'm a member of the press. I'm a known member of the local press. They knew me as a member of the press, and I was doing a...
So when the chief said he spoke to the local prosecutor's office, that doesn't necessarily mean he spoke to County Pell's direct. He may have called a prosecutor. Did he tell you which prosecutor he spoke with?
I thought he mentioned Connie, but you may be right. The conversation in that context isn't 100% clear to me. He did say that both the prior prosecutor and this prosecutor have both said that was a crime, what's supposed to be constitutionally protected activity. I say it's constitutionally defined. It's citizen protected. And that's what I'm trying to do right now is volunteer my time to protect this right.
Anything?
I was threatened. No, I wasn't charged with anything that day. I was threatened with. And not only that, but he's been going around based on prosecutor feedback. He's been going around and defaming me. Now, I've already given them notice of lawsuit.
What's your last name, Rich? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to cut you off. What's your last name?
Gages.
Okay, Mr. Gages. What I would suggest you do is get you an attorney who can legally advise you how to navigate this situation.
You know what the problem with that is, sir?
What's the problem with that?
Is that it's a system. If the system that you're suggesting as a government agent that I go and get an attorney, that generally a lot of them, especially the good ones, cost hundreds of dollars an hour, but certainly by the end to do something like this is going to be tens of thousands of dollars because I've looked into it. To uphold a right that you all have taken an oath to protect really starts exposing your character to me. I think that's a horrible suggestion. All I'm trying to do is get an answer from a public servant. Are you a public servant?
I am, sir. But
okay, the answer I'm trying to get from a public servant. Excuse me. No, you said you didn't mean to interrupt me. Why you were interrupting me? So you shut up at this point and listen to what I say.
Whoa.
No, whoa. You're being rude to me. And when you're going to be rude to me, I'm going to be rude back. You want to talk over me? All right, fuck you. I'll call back. Thank you very much. You want to investigate me? Start the investigation, you nasty piece of shit. Fuck that. I don't mean to interrupt you while you're actively fucking interrupting me. While you're actively fucking violating my rights or your department is. Fuck that.
Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. How can I help?
Yes, somebody told me that all calls for prosecutors go to like the inspectors. But at the same time, I called in prior to that and somebody transferred me to the prosecutor's office. So I'm wondering.
This is the prosecutor's office.
Yeah, but they transferred me to
One second,
Connie's.
real quick.
What?
We are sorry for this momentary delay. Someone will assist you in just a moment. Thank you for calling Hamilton County. Your call is very important to us.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I just had the same question as earlier.
Within the prosecutors?
No, it was the same question I had on this call where I was asking, I think it might have been you that told me all calls to prosecutors go to the inspectors, but prior to that, I had somebody that transferred me to Connie's office and her administrative assistant, I'll say that term loosely, I don't know her actual title, but her administrative assistant's voicemail picked up. So I was wondering, was that guy violating policy or procedure when he transferred me straight to prosecutors? Yes, was somebody violating policy or procedure when they transferred me to a prosecutor's extension?
No.
Okay.
A particular case, or you just have questions?
I mainly have one question, maybe a follow-up or two, so I just have questions. Could you transfer me? Yeah, he was rude to me. He was very rude to me, and ultimately he didn't want to have a conversation with me, so... Hello?
Thank you for calling Hamilton County. Your call is very important to us. We are sorry for this momentary delay. Someone will assist you in just a moment.
Okay, sir. They did receive your message. They're looking into the matter right now, and someone will get back with you in regards to it, okay?
Well, I've left messages before when no one's gotten back to me. I will trust you this time if you would be able to provide me some kind of ETA, or if you could provide me a time frame before I start calling back regularly to get the answer.
I can't give you a time frame because they have to do their own investigation on their end in the matter, so I can't give you a time frame. I can't give you like the direct any inner information because I'm not sure who's going to be the one to give you a call back.
Could you give me your opinion of what you think would be reasonable?
I'm not allowed to give opinions.
Okay, in that case, ma'am, I'll let you know what I'm going to do just so you can set the expectation straight for them. I'm going to wait at least a full 24 hours, possibly 48, and then I'm going to start calling back in again. And I'll call back in less frequent, but as I continue to call in and hit a stone wall, which has happened so far, I will continue to call in more frequently until you either tell me I can't call in and voice my grievance, as is a constitutional right, or you threaten me with legal action. At that point, I will comply with all legal requests. So if at some point you feel I'm harassing you or something, which is not my intent, you let me know and I'll stop the harassment. And
I don't feel like it's any type of harassment, but they just have to do their own investigation with the matter, and they will get back with you.
I understand that, and I appreciate you provided good service to me. The other guy made me feel like he's the kind of guy that would try to say I was harassing even though I wasn't, because he said he would stop servicing me based on the content of my speech. He denied me services based on the content of my speech. So based on those things, ma'am, I'd like to move on to the next item, which is how I make a complaint against an inspector.
Oh, how do you make a complaint against the inspector?
Yeah, because the inspector declined. He declined to give me services based on the content of my speech, while I have a right, a constitutional First Amendment right, to voice my grievance to government.
Whenever it calls you back, you can discuss that with them, and they can give you further instructions on how you can do as far as if you wanted to proceed with prosecution or whatever
I want to proceed with a complaint right now. I would think it would be the inspector's supervisor, but there or some kind of form I could fill out. But if what you're telling me right now is that I do not have a right to file a complaint against somebody that neglected to provide me professional services, then I'll put that on the record.
Thank you for calling Hamilton County. Your call is very important to us. We are sorry for this momentary delay. Someone will assist you in just a moment.
Okay, so it seems like your message was already transferred and you did leave a voicemail already at this point to the detective, which is the lead, which is Greg. So he will be listening to that message and he will be getting back with you in regards if you wanted to go further with the complaint on their.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. Can I?
At this point, so just give them a little time and they will get back with you.
Could I just confirm, did Greg himself tell you that he would get back to me?
He did.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. And so if he doesn't get back to me in a reasonable time frame, I'll let him know that he failed based on the words you're giving me. And by the way, I've been recording all these conversations for the record and for any possible future action. Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate you. You have a good day.
You too.
Criminal thugs wanting to steal my rights. We're going to find out. We'll find out if they decide to weaponize against me, to just uphold my rights, or to do what's really right, which is to uphold my rights and be held to accountability for their historical actions depriving me of my rights, allegedly.